it's getting complex, but
It's getting complicated.
energy
I know.
energy is not only in this world.
Yeah.
Energy is also existing in the metaphysical world,
Mm-hmm.
but energy which is not manifested yet.
Yes.
Source energy, or we can say the possible reality of the parallel reality. It's also energy, but it's not manifested here. But when your vibration matches and that energy, the
Mm-hmm.
energy is immediately manifested in this world, and then you can experience that reality.
Welcome back to Paradigm Surf. I'm Abby. I'm here with AG. Hey, AG, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Hmm.
I was very excited to speak with you again because we
Mhm.
introduced ourselves in the previous video, and I'm
Mhm.
excited to jump into something together on this channel. Um, I know a lot of people are curious. We'll start with a very basic, I guess, topic for this channel is energy, right? It's everywhere. Everyone's got it. But
Mhm.
yet, even though it's so simple, it's such a complex topic sometimes. So is your perception of energy? What do you, how do you understand it?
Energy. To me, it's source energy.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, source energy is like energy to manifest or create a reality. Yeah, and it's also like blood for the body, but energy is blood for our soul or mind or entire existence. So how do you perceive or how do you think energy is?
You know, I think growing up, energy is one of those things that you feel and intuitively you know about, but you can't really explain it. So, perhaps you've read more books on these kind of
Mm.
topics than I have, but I think energy is a very natural. I think it's just like the state of the world, right? The way we
Mm-hmm.
vibrate,
Yeah.
uh, how we interact with each other, even
Mm-hmm.
energy exchange and money in favors, these kind of things. It's just the basis of the reality that we live on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't come to know that until recently when I started becoming more curious about, well, the type of topics we talk about on this channel,
Mm-hmm.
um, when it comes to energy, spirituality. But yes, I think source energy is something when I heard about, it was kind of hard to believe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people grow up, I don't know, they might grow up religious or whatever, and the name they have for source or the energy of all, it could be God, in my opinion. And it's just another way to explain why we're here, how we're here, um,
Mm.
yeah, and what the earth is pretty much, in my opinion.
Yeah. 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 So yeah. So we can perceive energy in many ways. So energy is simply like power, and then
Mhm.
also creation, and then also our how can I say um, yeah, source of energy or mood, um, and also yeah, stamina. So everything. So everything makes our reality is energy. That's what I think.
Now, can people see it? Can people perceive it? Because I think people who are watching this video might
Mm.
understand it, but how would you explain it to somebody who's never heard of energy before? What would you say to them?
Yeah, that's a
That's a difficult question.
question. Uh, yeah, it's hard. Like
Yeah.
energy, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think myself. I'm like, how would I explain this to somebody? I think, oftentimes it's unexplainable. Oftentimes, perhaps some part of science does explain. I think it does, right? Some part of, like, science explains, um,
Uh-huh.
why it is there. We're all made up of matter in a very logical way. But then there's, like, a more, I don't wanna say, would you say, like, a metaphysical side to it, like this energy explanation?
Yeah. So energy. So like vibration
Mhm,
is measured by frequency, right?
mhm,
So it's just low or high. But energy is a weak or strong. It's so since vibration is like just why how broad or how can I say low or high,
mhm,
but energy is how weak or how strong. So the direction is different.
mhm.
So I don't know. The result is depend on the frequency by energy. So the result is combine of energy and vibration, I think.
Yeah, it's such a
You,
complex topic.
you got it.
I think, I know we were talking about, what
Yeah,
would be a great topic for today. We thought perhaps
yeah,
energy would be the simplest, but actually I think it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
such
I
a
know.
complicated topic. Um, but like I was saying earlier, I think everybody
Uh,
has something within them, and that thing, whether you call it a soul, whatever you want to call it, that thing inside of
yeah.
you um, lives in this material world and interacts
Hmm.
with other things.
Yeah.
And because you can interact with it, you're on a similar plane, similar frequency.
Hmm.
That's why I can
Yeah.
hold this pen, right? I can hold
Yeah.
this piece of paper. I think that would be more of the scientific part of it, but
Yeah.
there's layers to it, right? There's vibrations, dimensions. It's
Yeah.
a big topic.
So yeah, in a simple way, we can say energy is like attention or what you're focused on. Yeah. So when you focus on something, you're how do you say like throwing your energy or just aiming your energy to
Mhm.
a certain object. Yeah. So
Now,
direction of your attention is kind of energy.
can you do that with people? Like, is it possible to
Mhm.
do it with people?
Yeah. For example, so meditation. When you meditate, you are managing your energy. It's energy work
Mhm,
in a way. Yeah. So uh, when you ground, like do grounding,
mhm.
yeah, your energy is going toward the earth, the center of earth. And then when you go to upper world, or higher, connecting to higher self, your energy is going toward the up, upward.
And so, in a way, it's like presence, right? Like the presence that you
Yeah,
have in your body. You're focusing
yeah,
either upwards or downwards. And you
yeah.
mentioned something, grounding. Now,
Hmm.
most people, I think they understand what grounding is, but can you help me explain in simple terms what grounding is?
Yeah, ground is also a deep topic, but in
Yeah.
a simple way, it just it's for connecting to the earth.
Mhm,
So yeah, so when you meditate, or even in daily life, you should ground, like connect to the earth, so that you can be more stable. mentally and physically. Yeah,
Mhm.
it has many benefits for body and mind and the soul too.
Now, I've heard that sometimes just taking off your shoes and walking on the grass is good for
Yeah,
ground, as well as just touching something, like touching the
it's a little different. It's earthing.
earthing. Yeah,
Earthing
that's
is
what.
just to release your electricity, the junk electricity from your body,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
just drain out, and then you will feel balanced or more, yeah, stable.
Now, do you? I can't remember the last time I did this. Maybe when I was at
Yeah,
the beach, I took my shoes off.
yeah.
Um, but how important is it in your life to practice grounding and practice earthing?
Yeah, grounding and earthing. Because I'm becoming more spiritual recently,
Mm-hmm,
but it's also uh there's a concern that we should still like balance out like because we are living in the material world, the three-dimensional world.
mm-hmm.
So our body or mind um, are based on the earth. So we should concerned about the condition of the earthy world, not like higher dimension or yeah, another dimension.
So just this one, right? This one's probably
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
we're here,
yeah,
it's the
yeah,
most important one, you could say.
yeah. So and then, for example, when you channel to other entity, higher entity, and then i- if you went to uh, it's hard to explain. Like if you went too farther, you
Yeah.
it's hard to come back here. So
Oh,
your mind or your I don't know soul are just wander around, and then just you be like you know um
somewhere swimming in the another
somewhere,
dimension.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
Yeah.
out of uh how do you say, like you're not here.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of good phrases in English you can say, like,
Yeah,
you got your heads in the cloud, you went off the deep
yeah,
end,
yeah, something like that.
you know?
So
Uh,
grounding is yeah, how can I say, home, you know. So
mm.
you have to come back home when you go out.
You know, I think a good word would be it's like,
Mm.
realigning, right? It
Yeah,
realigns you
realigning. Yes, yes, yes. I
here.
think so. Yeah. So grounding is just strengthen the basement, the base, your base.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
Now,
also physically and mentally, and then also spiritual level.
people can practice this at home, right? There's
Yeah,
various ways you can become grounded within yourself.
yeah,
Ultimately, the more grounded you are within yourself, the more aligned you are. I think you align yourself with everything else that's around you, right? The universe,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
planet. Now, what would you recommend for somebody who's trying to ground themselves? Well, what do you do?
Uh, there are many ways, but one of the simple ways is that you just stand, uh, ideally barefoot, and
Mhm.
just imagine going to the center of Earth, and then feel the massive energy there. It's very, very massive, and then really energetic and gigantic energy.
Mhm.
And then you just yeah, soak into the energy and the feel energy, and then take the energy inside of you. And then, yeah, when you feel enough to, how can I say, like, you're energetic enough, you just go up and then come back to your body.
I try to practice that kind of grounding, and when I'm trying to stay present, I'll imagine myself like a bubble around me, or like I'm inside an egg, right? And every time
Yeah.
I breathe in, my the circle that I'm surrounded by, it becomes more pure, more clean, more
Yeah.
aligned with my centers. Because I guess um I don't know, I feel like I've always practiced this, but I never knew
Y-
what it was, which is so
yeah.
fun.
I do that when I go up.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Because I have to protect myself
Mhm,
when I go
mhm,
up. Go down is okay because it's Earth,
mhm.
our home. It's less danger dangerous.
It's a really dense place though as well, right? It's, like,
Yeah, and then going
spiritually
up is
challenging.
a little risky because there
Ah,
are some, you know, other entities.
mhm,
So, but higher entities are they are mostly good, like a good energy, good spirit. But sometimes like a little higher entities just like human. So they have uh yeah, possibly like a bad intention or um energy. So you have to protect yourself and then, yeah, but yeah, when you imagine yeah, like an energy ball or how do you say light bulb?
yeah,
I don't know
like, or an
how
egg
to
or
call it.
something, a force
Yeah,
field
yeah.
or
So
something.
yeah, you can protect yourself from that kind of existences.
So this is when you go up, right? This is what you've
Yeah,
done. Now, I don't have much experience with that, but I have a lot of experience here on this
yeah,
plane. Now, not only with, you would say other energies, other entities, but here
yeah,
on this earth, we're surrounded by so many people. You have to sometimes protect your own energy from
hmm,
other people because
hmm,
it's like a spectrum of positivity and negativity, right? Um,
yeah,
and these things, energy can be magnetic, but it's much more complicated. It's much more fluid, I believe. Um, Now, when it comes
yeah,
to energy with other people,
hmm,
I think you have to do the same thing. Almost separate yourself if it's something that doesn't serve you, or you can
yeah,
invite it in, extend your energy outwards towards people who align with you.
yeah. I think so. And but it's more like a frequency. So
Hmm.
frequency is makes magnetic or not. So because energy is just level,
Hmm.
but frequency is the difference of uh how can I say the rate,
So
the
the frequency.
vibration rate. Yeah,
Uh huh. Uh huh. Huh. Yeah,
yeah,
I think it's really important to I think not guard yourself, but have some protection
mhm,
um here on earth, up there if you're channeling,
yeah,
uh, because you never want to. Sometimes it's easy to pick up the energy of other people and hold
yeah,
on to it, right? It stays
mm-hmm,
with you sometimes.
mm,
So, I don't know if a lot of people who are just watching this video might be familiar with, protecting your energy, but a lot of it comes from not holding on to something that's not yours, right? That's why
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah,
protect ourselves, so to speak.
yeah. Because we are affecting each other with our energies
Hmm.
always. Yeah, even things or animals or yeah,
Exactly.
nature, weather. Everything is energy. So we are always affected by, yeah, some kind of energy.
No, I
And then
think
you attract energy from your vibration.
exactly. Now, I know a
Yeah,
lot of people have probably read books on manifestation, books on the law of attraction, and a lot of
yeah,
it has to be with align yourself to the frequency of I have this thing or I can receive this thing, instead of like, on the opposite. There's also when there's positive, there's negative. You can align yourself to
yeah,
I'm so sad, I don't have enough money. And this is the
yeah.
energy that comes from it, right?
Because it's so it's getting complex. But
It's getting complicated.
energy
I know.
energy is not only in this world.
Yeah.
Energy is also existing in the metaphysical world.
Hmm.
But energy which is not manifested yet.
Yes.
So yeah, source energy or like yeah, we can say the possible reality or parallel, not word, parallel reality. So it's also energy, but it's not manifested here. But when your vibration matches and that energy, the
Hmm.
energy is immediately manifested in this world, and then you can experience that reality uh, according to your energy level or frequency.
So I think this is such a good it's a good simple, in quotes,
Mm.
simple topic, but it gives people introduction to well, what energies are. And
Mm,
I hope in the future we can talk a little bit. You just mentioned about realities. I would
mm,
love to, speak with you and let people know what your thoughts are on reality, what my thoughts are on reality. But for now, I think
mm,
this episode has been just an intro video on how we perceive energies,
mhm.
and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about it in the future as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, for now, it was great talking with you, AG, and I'll see you in well, the next episode.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right. Bye everyone.
Bye.